My question is, what are your stances on housing, and how will you deal with the rising prices and the competitive market that currently strains the ability to buy and own homes?
I'm the only candidate running for governor who's actually been to all 39 counties and campaigning all across the state. And when I'm sometimes asked, what issue did I hear the most in campaigning all 39 counties? The answer is this one, affordable housing. And the cost of housing is literally an issue I heard over and over and over again in red jurisdictions and blue jurisdictions and urban jurisdictions and rural jurisdictions. So we have a very detailed plan on my website, Ferguson.com. And by the way, on that website, you can find detailed plans on a whole range of issues as well. But on housing specifically, a key element is we need to construct more housing. We need more inventory. Washington's way behind. So I have a specific plan to build 200,000 units of new housing in my first term as governor. So to be clear, that's housing of all kinds. Affordable housing, market rate housing, housing for the unhoused. All that's really required. We also need to do more to make sure we have accountability to accomplish this goal. So I'll be taking the head of housing and making that a cabinet level position. So that person is reporting directly to me on our progress on meeting our goals to create more housing all across our state. And third, we need to streamline our processes so developers can construct new housing. Workers want things, that's good jobs, that's good for our economy, and that's good for folks who need to get housing all across our state.
It's complicated, I think, as everyone recognizes, but there are some main drivers of the cost of housing, and part of it is due to the crime rate and homelessness. So I think one of the first things we need to do is address our public safety issues that are putting some pressure on businesses, which then leave the state, and we lose jobs, and housing prices rise as a result of crime. Car insurance goes up as a result of the number of cars that are stolen in Washington state. Secondly, homelessness is also driving up the cost. So there are some things that we can do. We need to build more low-income housing, and I think that we can find government incentives to make that happen. Secondly, we need to speed up the zoning permitting, the zoning. We need to speed up the permitting process. It takes so long to get a building permit today in Washington state. It delays the building of multiple homes like apartments and condominiums and even single family dwellings. We need to look at a change in the zoning laws. We also need to take a look at the regulations that are stacked on top of the building codes, which restrict builders from building. There are so many regulations. You have federal, state, county, city regulations all piled on. So we need to remove some of those regulations. All of these things cause delays in building apartment complexes, condominiums. So those are some ways that we can lower the cost of housing. I think that other things that we can do is look at how we can stop taxing people so much. So especially businesses, you start taxing businesses more and more, we become a business unfriendly state, and those taxes then are passed on to all of us here that live in Washington state, which then takes some of our financial resources away from us, which then results in our inability to buy homes or rent apartments. I think we need to, again, I'll just say, incentivize the building of lower to middle income housing, and we can do that by providing government grants. So there are lots of things that we can do, I think, mechanically to help ease the cost of housing. And basically it boils down to lowering the crime rate, reducing taxes, and reducing regulations, and speeding up the permitting process. The other thing that goes along with that is we have a shortage of workers, and I think providing a way to train people who are in the construction business, who want to go into the construction professions, electricians, plumbers, sheetrockers, painters, framers, you name it. I think we need to start teaching those skills again begin in middle school through high school and provide some incentives for young people to get into those trades.